In this episode, we'll see how plastic bottles turn into green toys. Plus, what makes alpacas green animals? And British teens work to improve the environment. All of this and much, much more on Better Planet TV.
Here at Green Toys, we make a large variety of children's toys for both boys and girls, and we make them here in the United States out of 100% recycled milk jugs. These are the milk jugs that your family uses every day and you throw in the recycle bin. We take those jugs and we reprocess it into fresh, clean plastic, and we make toys out of them. Now, there's a lot of different plastic that your family uses every day. There's the milk jugs, and there's also water bottles. And these are all recycled into different materials for different purposes. We use milk jugs, which is one of the safest, cleanest plastics around. We repurpose that, again, here in the United States, into fresh, clean, exciting toys. The process of making a toy is a long process from raw material to manufacturing to assembly to warehousing. The very first thing we do is we start with an idea for a toy. We talk to customers and we talk to kids and we say, what are the things that you'd like to sell and to play with? So the first thing we do is we go to the computer after we have an idea and we create a 3D model on the computer. And then from there, that's the beginning of the design phase and the beginning of the manufacturing phase. When consumers recycle milk jugs in their bins, they're collected at their curbside and they're reprocessed into these little pieces that we call pellets. We buy that by the truckload. The pellets made from the recycled milk jugs are put in these large injection molded machines, and they are melted down and squirted into a mold, which under very high heat and very high pressure make our toy. So when the mold opens up, the toy pops right out. A very common question we get is, how do we get color into our toys? We buy a colorant made in the United States that is completely FDA approved for food processes. And we mix that with the recycled milk jugs in the injection molding machines. And that creates toys of a specific color that we want for our product. Here at Green Toys, we make a variety of products for both boys and girls. We have a series of trucks, including a dump truck and a recycling truck. We have a number of kitchen play items like a tea set and a cookware set. And we have a number of outdoor items like jump ropes and things like that. All very competitively priced. All of our products are priced at $24.95 retail and below. People ask all the time, what's the benefit of using recycled material in toys? Recycled material in general, and recycled milk jugs specifically, are very quantifiably green. It saves a tremendous amount of energy to use recycled material, and it also saves a lot of greenhouse gases. Our process specifically has all our vendors in what's called a very tight supply chain. So the people who make the plastic are close to the people who make the boxes, the people who assemble it. So we're not shipping product all over the world, which also saves energy and reduces greenhouse gases.
Better Planet TV continues after this break. Welcome back to Better Planet TV.
What is it that we could leave on that might cost 1 pence an hour?
Leave a light on.
The computer?
If 100 people wasted 1 pence an hour for a year, it would be at least £9,000
Well done.
that they're wasting.
Excellent.
We decided that we wanted to become a sustainable school. We wanted to become self-sufficient in energy and carbon neutral as a starting point.
We see ourselves to be a partnership of schools within this part of the world, and so therefore what we've got is the expertise to be able to help and support them with the thinking and with getting other team players and other partners on board as well.
We've commissioned energy audits for the 11 primary schools that feed into us, and we've helped them with energy efficiency. 4 of them have now got their own solar PV systems. There's another primary school that we're likely to do a wind turbine with as a joint project. So they're examples of how we've linked with other schools.
We got a dashboard which is now actually indicating to us the amount of energy we're making, the amount of energy that we're using, the cost to us per hour of the energy expenditure.
The solar is how much we're generating with the solar panels, which is about 7,000 watts. This one's how much we're importing through the meter, which is about 105,000 watts.
If you were looking to make savings, your first thing is being able to measure accurately what you're using. So I would say that dashboard is your best investment because you can identify unnecessary use. After that, the next best thing is to try and educate users to switch off unnecessary use. And then when you've squeezed it as much as you can, the logical thing is to put your renewables in at that point in time. The solar panels give us quite a bit of electricity, particularly this time of year. But interestingly, the majority of the savings, significant amount anyway, are through people turning stuff off that's not needed.
Mostly we go around school turning lights off, as you see, trying to keep the teachers, make sure that they save energy as well, because most teachers actually have a competition between them to see how many they can get green faces.
Every Thursday night we go around to the teachers, and if they're wasting electricity, we'll give them one of these. And if they're saving electricity, we'll give them one of these, and all the teachers collect them, but none of them like one of them.
Youngsters are turning lights off when they come out of classrooms now. Corridors are lights are turned off in between lessons. The youngsters are doing this. It's not members of staff doing that. That's the youngsters. So we can see that things are working.
We are the STEM Club.
We are here today at Oakhampton Primary School to tell them about renewable energy. We are Oakhampton College STEM Club. Renewable energy is a good alternative for fossil fuels. Renewable means it never runs out. If you are using renewable energy, you still have to be careful of how you use the energy to get the most out of it. You should try to do this at home.
Well, the STEM Club just went to the primary school today really to say hello to the pupils there as an example of how we try and network with our local primary schools. The idea really was to just go and spread the message about electricity costs money and there's an environmental cost as well actually, and just to raise awareness of that and try and make everyone better users of energy.
As an educational establishment, we're sending out the next generation of consumers, the next generation of travellers out into the world, and so the more that we can inform them so that they can make their own decisions, then we feel that that's what we're here for.
This is a energy sign to remind people not to waste energy. It says think is a slight necessary, and the idea is that if you see it, you will turn the light off.
The fact that we're opening children's minds to this type of thinking, the fact that we've got so many links with so many partner organisations now, the fact we can see this teamwork of organisations coming together, it really makes this a real, genuine opportunity.
I think it's important that the college is an example because it's rubbing off on other people as well. So it's not just affecting me, although kind of students see it directly, it's then moved on to other people and transferred to the rest of my family and not just my immediate family, the whole family, and then obviously they'll talk to other people about it.
We went loads of steps in trying to make it better for the environment, so it just fills you up with a great sense of pride really.
Better Planet TV continues after this break. Welcome back to Better Planet TV.
Alpacas are the perfect green livestock. Everything about them is as ecologically friendly as you could ever wish for. Their fiber is soft and warm, doesn't have lanolin, so we don't have to use harsh chemicals to process it, and it's very durable. The fleece is renewable every year. It grows and we have a constant supply. It's warmer and softer and very insulating. In fact, even the thirds of the fleece can be used to do things like insulate pipes or make blankets that maybe you wouldn't want them next to your skin, but they keep you very warm. They're also really friendly to the land. Their top incisors aren't there. They just don't have them. So when they grab the grass, they just nibble. So they never destroy the root structure and cause erosion. Their feet are padded so that they're very gentle on the land. They don't tear up the pasture. And their manure, they're extremely efficient users of their food. The manure has very low nitrogen and it's easily composted. There's almost no methane gas emitted, and it's very rich soil amendment. Alpacas are really gentle, rather shy animals. Perfect for families, for people with small children. You could put small children out in a pasture with alpacas and never have to worry about them. They'd never get hurt. The fleece is woven into almost anything that you could make with wool or cotton or silk. In fact, there are two fleece types. One that's very similar in structure to wool that lends itself beautifully to knitting, and it's very fuzzy and soft, and that's the wakaya. And then the suri is silky and straight and hangs in locks, and it makes up more like raw silk. In fact, I'm told the Italians use a lot of suri fiber in their men's coats because it gives it a luster and a sheen that they wouldn't have otherwise. One of my favorite products for alpacas is alpaca socks, because they wick the moisture really well and they're comfortable. They're not even hot on a hot day. Sweaters, shawls, scarves, hats, gloves, blankets, rugs, upholstery. One of the most durable upholsteries you could ever have. Even though there's not a lot of alpaca in the country right now, you can find it in places like luxury boutiques, and private knitting stores will stock yarn sometimes. And sometimes they'll even stock raw fleece for hand spinners. You might find it at farmers markets and at alpaca ranches all over the country.
Better Planet TV continues after this break. Welcome back to Better Planet TV. Look what's happening at Staples High School in Westport, Connecticut. A raised bed garden is being built to teach students hands-on learning experiences with growing vegetables and flowers. Custom designed by Tice Garden Systems, this unit is an animal-resistant, sustainable garden for all ages and abilities. And the best part, it requires little upkeep. The school garden features wide walkways to accommodate large numbers of pupils, as well as planting beds of varying depths, allowing students and teachers to experiment with a wide variety of flowers and vegetables.
I grew up in France, and France, the way we eat is there are many farmers markets everywhere, every day, so you sort of go to work, and then when you're done with work, you buy your food on the way home, and it's always fresh produced food. And so here, when I saw not only how people ate, but out of season, and that most of our kids don't really understand when a tomato is in season and when it's out of season, and couldn't tell the difference between a fresh tomato and a tomato that you eat in the middle of the winter that tastes like cardboard, that's when I realized the importance of teaching my kids and teaching kids in the school system in general. The cycle of seasons and the results of simple work like planting and harvesting.
Taish garden systems are also custom designed for homes and community areas. Because of the raised beds and the high-quality soil provided, the gardens can be installed on paved surfaces or on empty lots where the native soil might be environmentally suspect. All you need, the company says, is sun and space. As dawn breaks over a small village on the Indonesian island of Bali, the local fishermen prepare for the day's work. This island sits close to one of Indonesia's many coral reefs that teem with life, including brightly colored tropical fish. Every morning, local fishermen venture out to the sea to make a living, stunning and catching tropical fish for aquariums. But not long ago, these reefs were dying. Locals from this area and other villages were fishing with potassium cyanide poison that not only killed the fish, but severely bleached and in many cases destroyed the reefs. Today, the situation is very different. The coral reef that provides for local families and villages has come back to life, thanks in large part with resources from the United Nations Development Program in partnership with a local non-government organization. They've developed joint solutions to rehabilitate the coral reef ecosystem in a way that would allow locals to carry on with their traditional life and fishing. Fishermen now catch fish by using nets and not cyanide, improving not only the quality of their catch, but also ensuring the reef health. The locals claim they are much happier with the way they catch fish, switching from toxic cyanide to nets. And they say they are glad that the ornamental fish are healthier and live longer. Other villagers were trained in simple coral transplantation and biological monitoring. They transplanted 34 species of coral from donor coral into a new reef created from rubble and porous cement. The success of this Bali project has made it a model for communities around the world. In Indonesia, several other provinces have replicated these policies and practices. Through this simple change, these local Bali fishermen have secured their livelihoods for today and into the future, as well as ensuring that the reef remains healthy and keeping the planet better protected. Near Santa Barbara, California, a team from Habitat for Humanity gets ready to recover building materials and other items from a soon-to-be demolished home.
This is a Southern California beach house, and the owners have contacted Habitat for Humanity because they're trying to build very green, and part of building green is demolishing in a green way. So what they asked us to do was to come in and look at the house and see if there were any salvageable items that we could take and use them in our restore where we sell usable building material. So we have come down now today, and we've done a little walkthrough here to see what is actually salvageable out of this home before it's demolished. That way not so much of the material will go into the landfill, and we'll see another life. Yep, we'll take this, that'd be great. Ooh, it's pretty clean, so that's great. Typically when we go into a home, it's not furnished, it's the owner has moved all the furnishings out. This time we kind of hit the jackpot. We also got some furnishings. Very often we'll take out windows and doors and appliances, that sort of thing. What we want to do is make sure that what we take out will be able to be sold again and will be up to code. So we'll take out dual glazed windows, we'll take out low flow toilets, we'll take out the Energy Star appliances if they're less than 5 years old, and then we'll be able to sell them with the confidence that the new owners will be up to code when they put them into their homes. These I think we could sell really easily. I've always liked the style of these chairs, and they feel like they're pretty solid, so we'll sell those in the restore. This cabinet here is built out of cedar, and it's a lovely little piece of furniture. Would go well in somebody else's beach house, so we're going to take this apart and take it back to our store as well and sell it. And it will be a wonderful little cabinet for storing towels and beach accessories. Cedar is a very nice wood at the beach, and we often don't find things of this caliber that are this easily dismantled for us to be able to take away and reuse. So this is going to be a great little find for us in our restore. In some homes, we're able to take out doors and windows, and in some cases, in fact, they take the whole house apart very carefully, and we're able to take part of the lumber and reassign that to a different charity and reuse even all the lumber that's there. But that wasn't the case in this house. This house was a little bit dilapidated, and so as we came in, we determined that the best thing that we could take out of this home was some of the furnishings and some of the appliances. Habitat for Humanity is a nationwide organization. Actually, this year we are the #1 builder in the United States. We have 1,400 affiliates across the United States. We also serve overseas in over 90 countries. An offshoot of our Habitat for Humanity building homes for low-income families is our restore. And we now have 700 restores across the country, and all of us are doing this kind of thing of salvaging materials that would otherwise go in the landfill. We sell those at greatly reduced prices to the general public, and the items that aren't ready for the landfill get a second life. And it helps us, because it's part of our fundraising, to help us continue to build homes for low-income families.
And that's this edition of Better Planet TV. See you next time as we learn to make our world a better place.